Hi, I'm Derek Johnson with Tatango.com, and I'm going to be talking today about two methods that brands can use to collect email addresses, but via text message. So here's how it works. So let's say I walk into a retail store, and currently, if they're not using text messaging, adding yourself to an email marketing program is kind of complex. You would have to get out a piece of paper maybe and write down your email address, and somebody would have to enter that email address into a computer. Maybe they have a point of sale system where you can enter your email address in, but that means you have to be at the point of sale to do it. That's where text message marketing comes in. And this is only a one single message program. This isn't a recurring message program. Recurring message is when you opt people in via text message and you get their phone number, and then you can mass text message them. Now that's an option for collecting email addresses during that process. But what I'm going to be talking about today is a single message program, which allows a brand just to use text messaging to grow their email list and not to collect any additional phone numbers for future messaging purposes. So the two methods that you can use are when a consumer walks into your store, you can advertise to them and say, text discount to 12345. Discount would be what we call an SMS keyword, and then 12345 would be your SMS short code. And then when they text that in, you respond back to them with a message via text message that says, please reply with your email address to opt in to receive our email promotions. Usually it's best if, when you're collecting emails, to offer some sort of incentive for the consumer to opt in to the email program. So that's the first option. Then when the consumer texts their email address back, then the SMS marketing provider, software provider, will send that email address automatically via API to your email provider. So no more writing down stuff, typing things in. The consumer can opt in to the email program themselves, which is pretty cool. So that's the first option you have to collect email addresses via text message. The second, which I prefer, and we've seen much better conversion rates, is instead of triggering the opt-in via keyword, so texting discount to 12345 in the store, is actually just to text the email address, the consumer's email address, to the phone number, the short code. So here's how this would work. A consumer walks into a retail store and they would see a sign. And instead of saying text deals or discount to 12345 to join our email list, which kind of doesn't make sense because I'm texting in my phone number for an email list, like when do I text in my email? So it is a little confusing for the consumer, which is why I think the second option works better. Instead of that, they would see an advertisement that says, text your email address to the phone number 12345 to join our email list. See how easy that is, and it makes sense? I would also add a opt-in incentive there. We found through studies that an opt-in incentive can grow a list 520% faster than a non-opt-in incentive. So something like, receive 10% off today when you join our email list. To join, text your email to 12345. The only thing that is a caveat on the second portion here is you have to be running on a dedicated short code. Dedicated short code means one brand is using the short code. The reason being is that if it's a shared short code, you can't actually do it because an SMS provider, software provider, wouldn't know why those people are texting in their email address and which brand to associate those email addresses to. On a dedicated short code, that means the short code is owned by one brand and only used by one brand. It's very easy for a software provider like Tatango to say, oh, they're texting in email addresses, they want to be added to the email list, and we can send those off to the email marketing provider. So no matter which way you use, it's great, especially in store, in print advertising, radio advertising, if you want to grow your email subscriber database, to use text messaging because it's just a better way and a better experience for the consumer to give up their email address than writing it down or going to a website which if you're in the store really doesn't work. So that's a huge recommendation for all the marketers out there. If you are an email marketer, definitely use text messaging to grow your email list faster. And I recommend the second version. It just gets better conversion. It makes more sense for consumers, but you do have to use a dedicated short code.